Hello everyone. Welcome to the Fairy on the Mountain YouTube channel. Today, we'll discuss a somewhat sensitive but very intriguing and realistic topic. 9 reasons why others might secretly dislike you. Of course, no one wants to be disliked. However, the truth is that in the journey of life, we can't avoid being liked by some and disliked by others. The key lies in understanding why they dislike us, and if someone does harbor negative feelings, how to handle and move past it. Now, let's dive into the main content. 1. They dislike you because you think and live differently. In society, there are people who follow the conventional path, believe in traditional values, and adhere to what the majority does. But there are also individuals with a breakthrough mindset who dare to be different and question established norms. This difference in thinking and lifestyle can lead to conflicts or tensions. For example, while your peers might be heading to university, you choose to travel, vlog, or start a career early. In a traditional family where everyone expects you to marry and have children early, you prioritize your career and travel to learn. When you go against the crowd, some might feel that you're breaking the mold, which can lead to dislike. Solution: clearly articulate your desires and reasons. Explain that you're not trying to go against the world but are following your own path. Be thoughtful and respectful of others' choices, but also firm in pursuing your own. As a Stoic would say, every person has their own destiny and path. Embrace wisdom and tolerance. Don't waste time persuading or arguing unnecessarily. Instead, demonstrate through your achievements or experiences. 2. They dislike you because you're successful or outperform them. Your success in areas like career, finances, education, or relationships can unintentionally become a thorn in others' eyes. It may spark feelings of jealousy, comparison, or inferiority. Sometimes this doesn't mean they directly dislike you, but rather they dislike feeling left behind. They struggle with seeing you excel while they remain stagnant. This is common in workplaces, friendships, and even families. Solution: focus on your goals. Remember the Stoic teaching. You cannot let others define your success. Remain humble and genuine. If someone dislikes you out of jealousy, show humility and a willingness to share knowledge and experiences. This can transform jealousy into mutual growth. 3. They dislike you because you don't conform. Some people are disliked simply because they're different or don't play by the group's unspoken rules. For example, in a group where everyone loves gossip, you don't participate. At work, when others cozy up to the boss, you prefer to read or take a break alone. Such differences can make you stand out, inadvertently creating a gap between you and the collective. Sometimes, it's because you have personal principles that you won't compromise on, such as refusing unethical or dishonest practices. While others might conform, your resistance can make you appear as a thorn in their side. Solution: stick to your virtues and principles, but do so without arrogance. Respect the choices of others while staying true to yourself. The world is diverse, and no way of life is entirely right or wrong. What matters is the courage to live the life you want while respecting others' values. If you're disliked for being different, consider it the price of freedom and creativity. Important lessons from Epictetus and the art of living harmoniously. Epictetus once said, "You cannot remain steadfast if you constantly change your principles to please others." However, while it is crucial to maintain your individuality, it is equally important not to let your differences sow discord. By being clear, positive, and respectful in your communication, you can express your choices without making others feel judged or alienated. Balancing individuality and social harmony. If you prefer not to participate in certain group activities, explain your reasons with sincerity and respect. For instance, instead of distancing yourself completely, you might say, "I appreciate the invite, but I prefer doing something else during my free time." This lets others understand your preferences without feeling like you are criticizing them. Finding common ground. Even when differences exist, look for areas of mutual interest, such as sports, music, movies, or books. These shared interests can bridge gaps and foster understanding. Accept that some people might still harbor resentment towards you despite your efforts. As Seneca wisely advised, you cannot control others' emotions, but you can control how you respond. A real-life example. There was a time when my entire team would gather for drinks every Friday evening. I neither enjoyed drinking nor noisy environments, so I often left early. Over time, my colleagues started seeing me as aloof or unwilling to socialize. Initially, I avoided explaining myself for fear of being seen as self-righteous. However, when my manager suggested I engage more with the team, I decided to join some gatherings. Even though I didn't drink, I stayed for a while and engaged in lighthearted conversations. This helped break the misconception that I was unapproachable or arrogant. The key takeaway? Integration doesn't mean losing your identity, and staying true to your principles doesn't mean isolating yourself. With subtle adjustments, you can balance individuality and social harmony. Being too frank, a blessing or a curse? Honesty is a virtue, but excessive frankness can sometimes do more harm than good. In professional settings, being direct can facilitate clarity and efficiency. However, not everyone appreciates blunt feedback, especially if it's delivered insensitively or in public. When frankness becomes a problem, pointing out someone's mistakes bluntly may make them feel attacked or embarrassed. While your intention may be to help, the other person might see it as criticism or condescension. Stoic guidance on speaking the truth. Stoicism teaches that the goal of truth-telling is to improve situations, not to demean others. Before giving feedback, choose the right time and place. Private conversations are often better than public criticisms. Be tactful and compassionate. Ensure your tone and emotions are under control to avoid seeming combative. Historical anecdote. Wei Zhang and Emperor Taizong. Wei Zhang, a famous advisor, was known for his bluntness, even criticizing Emperor Taizong's policies without hesitation. While many officials feared him, his honesty saved the empire from oppressive tax policies. This story shows that while frankness might make you unpopular in the short term, it can yield long-term benefits if motivated by genuine concern for the greater good. Navigating misunderstood confidence. Confidence is often mistaken for arrogance, especially when it comes across as dismissive or self-centered. Genuine confidence is rooted in self-awareness, but when expressed without humility, it can alienate others. Lessons from Stoicism. Stoicism encourages self-reflection and balance. If others perceive you as overconfident, take a moment to evaluate whether you've unintentionally come across as dismissive. Ask yourself, have I unintentionally overshadowed others? Am I attentive to their feelings and contributions? The story of Zhao Kuo. Zhao Kuo, a young general, epitomized theoretical brilliance but lacked practical experience. His overconfidence led to his downfall in the Battle of Chongping, causing significant losses for his kingdom. This underscores the importance of balancing confidence with humility and experience. How to maintain confidence without alienation. Express your capabilities with humility. Acknowledge and respect others' strengths. Regularly reflect on your interactions to ensure your confidence inspires rather than intimidates. Conclusion. Life inevitably brings moments when we are misunderstood or disliked. The key lies in staying true to your values while navigating social dynamics with grace. Maintain your principles but be adaptable and empathetic. By blending firmness with kindness, you'll not only live authentically, but also build stronger and more meaningful connections. The important task that Epicurus mentioned is that you cannot be steadfast if you constantly change your principles to please others. However, we must also remember not to let our differences become the cause of division. Clearly and positively, you can share the reasons why you do not want to participate in certain group activities without making others feel that you are lecturing them. Sincerity and respect will help them understand that you do not look down on them. It's just that you have different choices. Find common ground. Perhaps you don't like each other, but you can still talk and engage on other aspects like sports, music, movies, or books. Finding common ground will help eliminate the distance between you. Accepting others does not mean you have to like them. Seneca once advised that you cannot control others' emotions, but you can control your response. If after all, people still dislike you, accept that it's a part of life. The most important thing is that you stay true to your values and principles without lowering yourself. There was a time when the whole office would gather to drink together every Friday. I couldn't drink and didn't like the noise, so I would leave early. Gradually, everyone saw me as the outsider who didn't fit in. In reality, I just preferred to go home early to have dinner with my wife or go work out to stay healthy. I didn't feel the need to explain myself, fearing I'd be labeled as holier than thou. Once, my boss subtly mentioned, "You should open up more. Let the team get to know you better." Later, I joined a few gatherings, not drinking, but still chatting with everyone. They saw that I could laugh and talk just like them, and I wasn't as arrogant as they thought. Sometimes, all it takes is a small adjustment, engaging just enough to avoid being misunderstood as distant or aloof. Integrating doesn't mean losing your identity, and staying true to your principles doesn't mean isolating yourself. Be tactful and balance the two to make life easier while still holding firm to what you believe in. They dislike you because you're too straightforward. Sometimes, bluntness brings great benefits, as it allows you to convey information clearly and without beating around the bush. In work, being straightforward helps everything run smoothly and transparently. However, not everyone is ready to hear what you say, especially those who are sensitive to opposing views or criticism. When you point out someone's mistake, they may feel offended, attacked, or embarrassed in front of others. This is why a second reason for people's dislike is because of excessive bluntness or the way you express it. In Stoicism, we don't encourage winning others over by hiding the truth, but we must remember that the goal of speaking the truth is to improve things, not to teach or criticize others. Respect the listener. If you need to give feedback, choose the right moment and words, avoiding embarrassing them in front of others. See if you can offer advice privately rather than publicly. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of sincerity and compassion. Being blunt does not mean being harsh or cruel. When speaking the truth, express it with the intention of helping others improve, not to point fingers. Control your tone and emotions. Sometimes the issue is not your words but the way they are delivered that causes harm. Guizhou, a famous strategist, later became an advisor to Emperor Taizong of the Tang dynasty. He was known for his blunt words, which often irritated the emperor. Once, he criticized the government's heavy taxation, arguing that it would lead to public resentment. While others feared losing their positions, Guizhou remained unwavering. Many disliked him for his harshness, seeing him as dismissive. But it was this straightforwardness that helped the country avoid a severe tax crisis, earning him long-term trust from the emperor. This story shows that being blunt may make people dislike you in the short term, but it can also bring great benefits to society. If people dislike you because you're too straightforward, see it as an opportunity to develop your interpersonal skills. By doing so, you can remain truthful and upright without unnecessarily harming others' self-esteem. They dislike you because you are too confident or seem arrogant. The first reason people may dislike you is because you are overly confident. Everyone has likely met someone who always walks with their head held high, speaks loudly, and has a very dominant presence. On the one hand, those people appear impressive, but many others may find this confidence annoying or even mistake it for arrogance. True confidence usually comes from a deep understanding of your own worth. You know what your strengths and abilities are, and you believe you deserve certain things. However, when this confidence is expressed too overtly, overshadowing others or belittling them, the line between confidence and arrogance becomes very thin. This is often the reason why some people quietly dislike you. They feel like you are looking down on them, damaging their self-esteem. Stoicism suggests that we should focus on the essence of things instead of reacting emotionally. If you realize that some people dislike you because of your confidence, take time to reflect on your behavior. Are you inadvertently showing off? Do you disregard others' feelings? Spend a few minutes each day reflecting on your actions and words. In Stoicism, self-reflection is extremely important. You could ask yourself, what have I said today that might have hurt others? Have I unknowingly acted in a way that makes others feel inferior? If someone points out that you come across as arrogant or condescending, take it as a reminder, not to feel ashamed but to assess whether there's truth in it and adjust accordingly. Being confident with humility means knowing your own worth without overshadowing others. You can demonstrate your abilities while remaining respectful of others, which will not only help avoid envy but also make your interactions more pleasant. They dislike you because you are inflexible. To many people, someone who strictly adheres to rules and regulations, or in other words, a perfectionist, can be hard to like. For example, if you are someone who follows schedules strictly, never arriving late, always leaving on time, and avoiding any randomness, you may be perceived as difficult or nitpicky. In reality, you are probably just trying to maintain order and discipline to ensure that work and life run smoothly, but others might see this as rigidity, making them feel deprived of their freedom. Stoicism emphasizes self-discipline not to impose it on others but to improve ourselves. A true Stoic will be flexible and adaptable to different situations, without being judgmental or forceful. If you need someone to follow certain rules, explain the bigger purpose behind them so that they understand the value of following them, rather than just feeling pressured to comply. Sometimes, small matters like a few minutes of tardiness in a meeting are not so important. Focus on finding the boundary between essential principles and what can be flexible. The motivation behind your personal growth and change is your own right. If someone dislikes you because of your change, that is their problem, not yours. You just need to maintain the right attitude and keep moving forward. One of the most common reasons people dislike you is because you seem cold, distant, or hard to approach. Ultimately, people may feel this way because you appear to have little expression, or simply because you don't like to share your thoughts. You might be someone who prefers introspection rather than expressing yourself outwardly. From the outside, others may view you as unapproachable or unpleasant. On the other hand, many people are accustomed to open communication or light chatting and enjoy connecting by conversing casually. When they encounter someone who doesn't respond in the same way, they might feel disrespected or receive a cold shoulder, which results in them forming a negative impression and even disliking you, even if you didn't intend any harm. Stoicism does not dismiss the value of building social relationships. Even if you are introverted, you still need certain connections. Try to make a good impression. A smile, a greeting, or an inquiry about someone's well-being can often show that you are not as cold as others think. Choose when and who to share your thoughts with. You don't need to be open with everyone, but with those you trust, you can be more open so they understand you better. You don't need to over-explain yourself. If someone still dislikes you for being quiet, it's their problem. Just make sure you are not intentionally showing a condescending attitude or treating others as inferior. Be polite and respectful, and the rest is up to them. As an introvert, I often kept to myself in crowds when I first started at my job and would eat lunch alone because I felt awkward in large groups. As a result, my colleagues started gossiping that I was hard to get along with and had a combative personality. I had no ill intentions. I just found loud environments tiring, but it wasn't easy to be misunderstood. So I decided to change a little. Whenever the opportunity arose, I would participate in short conversations and add small pleasantries like, "How was your weekend?" Over time, people saw that I was friendly, just a bit shy. Not long ago, one of my colleagues said, "I thought you were cold, but you're actually quite friendly." I realized that sometimes you don't need to be overly open. Just showing a little goodwill can break down initial prejudice. In conclusion, being cold or distant is often just an outward appearance. If you feel that this dislike is hindering you too much, be proactive and initiate a few friendly interactions. If, after all that, some people still can't change their impression of you, accept that no one is responsible for pleasing everyone. After going through the 9 common reasons why people might secretly dislike you, we can see that 1. People may dislike you not because of anything you did wrong but because of their own insecurities, jealousy, or inner conflicts. 2. Sometimes you might contribute to others' discomfort with your behavior, speech, or expression. 3. You can't control everyone's emotions, but you can control your response to them. Stoicism provides a very honest perspective. Observe the world and yourself, and recognize what is within your control. We train to develop virtue, proper behavior, kindness, and tolerance. The rest, how others think and evaluate us, is beyond our control. Thank you for listening and watching this video. If you found the content useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel so that we are motivated to produce more quality videos. Wishing you strength and true peace in your life. Goodbye and see you in the next videos.